Every day the teachers need to tell you on the video, just like a one revision, no repetition. How you study the same way, we have to say every day on the video, on the video. Majority are off. Okay. Okay, children, in the last class, we have learned about Newton's second law, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. What do you mean by Newton's second law? Justin? What do you mean by Newton's second law? Yes? Yeah, someone called me. Huh? Yes, someone is saying something. Call me. Who called me? Sound is very feeble. Is it Shania?
I am Justin. Justin.
Justin, okay. Justin, tell me what is Newton's second law, Justin?
The rate of change of momentum of an object is directly proportional to the applied unbalanced force.
Okay. Okay. Rebu, what is the equation to find out the force on basis of Newton's law?
F is equal to ma.
F is equal to ma. Anjali, what is m? What is a? What is m? What is a?
Mass.
Mass. And then?
Acceleration.
Acceleration. We have done some problem, correct? We completed that force with ma. Did we? Did you some problem, children, using that? Because since all the 3 class I'm taking, I just confused. Jerlin, can you check your lecture notes? Let us see whether we have done some problem using F is equal to ma.
2 problems.
2 problems.
2 problems. Okay. Okay. So that is Newton's second law. Yeah. Ashik, what is Newton's first law, Ashik? Newton's first law. What's that? Second law everyone knows. Now what about the first law? First law forgot. Ashik, no answer. Then I ask the question.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Tell me what is Newton's first law? No answer? Open your notebook or textbook, Ashik. Simply don't smile. Okay. Smile will not give you mark. Now you smile at me, but I don't give mark. Okay. Fagad, what is Newton's first law? Open, all of you, open your notebook. I told you all these 2 laws. I will be asking every day. Whenever the class, I'll ask all these 2 laws because we have to thorough with it. Yeah. Fagad. Can you hear me, Fagad? No answer. Fagad Sheikh. Gauri. Tell me what is Newton's first law? You can't hear me or what, children?
We
No
can hear you.
Then tell me what is Newton's first law?
Law of inertia.
Law of inertia.
Ma'am,
That is only Srihari say.
Ma'am,
I know Srihari will say, but I am asking the people.
remains in a state of rest of uniform motion in a straight line.
Okay. Gauri, I think your sound is breaking. Adulya, state Newton's law of inertia or Newton's first law.
Ma'am, an object remains.
Remains. I think she has gone out of the sea. Kshetra. Kshetra.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. State Newton's first law, Kshetra.
An object remains in a state of rest or state of uniform motion in a straight line unless compelled to change that state by an applied force.
Yeah, okay, correct. So body remain in state of rest and state of motion unless compelled by an external unbalanced force. So the first law gives defines the force. Okay, first law, what is the importance of all this law? The Newton's first law defines the force. That means what is force? That is the meaning of it. So first law, Newton's first law defines the force, and second law give the equation or give us how to measure the force. First law defines the force. Second law measure the force. Second law measure the force. And third law, Newton's third law explain the effect of force. Third law explain the effect of force. So existence of universe is the practical application of all these three laws. First law defines the force because every action is a force. Without help of a force, no action takes place. Birds fly, leaves fall, maybe aeroplane fly, volcano erupt, tsunami come, rain. If it rains, storm, wind, cyclone, whatever happened in this universe, whatever happened in the universe, the sun is lighting or sun is shining, sun is setting. Everything is the application of these three laws. That means first law defines the force, second law measure the force, and third law explain the effect of force, or it gives the effect of force. Okay, so the third law of motion we learn later. First we will come back to the same way, conservation law of momentum. Next we are moving on to conservation law of momentum. Conservation law of momentum. What do you mean by this conservation law of momentum? That's what we are going to learn. Okay. Okay, so we are moving on to conservation of momentum or law of conservation of momentum. Okay, law of conservation of momentum. Okay, so law of conservation of momentum. So just look at this picture. Before we go to the statement, all of you go through the picture. Okay, you can see that there is a cart is moving. There is a cart is moving, and when you come to a particular point, you can see there are brick. The brick has been kept in a crane or something, and it will be dropped in the cart. It will be dropped in the cart, and afterwards what will happen? The dropped brick and the cart together moves or moves together. That means according to the law of conservation of momentum, total momentum of the system in an isolated system, or total momentum in an isolated system is remains conserved. Remains conserved means it's constant. Remains conserved. Okay. So what is conservation of momentum? Law of conservation of momentum states that in an isolated system, total momentum remains conserved. Or we can write it in different way, that is total momentum of the system before collision is equal to after collision, provided there are no external unbalanced forces acting on them. There are no external unbalanced force acting on them. So what is the conservation of momentum? Total momentum in an isolated system remains conserved or constant. That means momentum before collision will be equal to momentum after collision, provided no external forces acting on them. Now, what do you mean by collision? Children, this is just, I'll show you the slide later. First, we understand this concept. So, if you say that a bike and a car, they are coming in opposite direction. Okay. Or we can just say not opposite direction. A car is moving at the back of the bike. Just imagine a bike is moving in front and a car is moving at the back. Both are moving with a different speed. And suddenly the car increases speed. Just imagine it loses its brake. It cannot apply the brake. And the car went and dashed the bike. And after collision, the car took the bike with it, and it moved a little further. So I just explained to you, car and the bike, they are moving in the same direction. Due to some accident, the car went and collided with the bike. After collision, the car dragged the bike in forward. So before collision, the car has a momentum and the bike has a momentum. So initial momentum of before collision will be sum of car's momentum and the bike momentum. Okay, before collision, total momentum was the car's momentum plus the bike's momentum. After collision, what happened? Car dragged the bike with it. That means, just imagine car and bike was moving together. Just like I showed you in the slide, the cart and the brick, they are in the same together and they are moving. That time, they have the same momentum because they were together. So they are having the same momentum. So that value and this value both are equal. For example, car has a momentum. Just say a car moving. I don't know how to draw the bike. Okay. Anyway, I just write bike. They are moving forward. Okay. Car momentum was 20 mass into momentum mass into velocity. So 20, let us say 200 kg meter per second, and bike was 100 kg meter per second. So this is before collision. Then after that they collide. So car and the bike, they collide one another and they move forward. Now if you add this 200 plus 100, you will get to 300. And after collision also the momentum when we measure, this is again 300. So both are now equal. Whatever may be. Maybe the speed maybe changes. But still when you add it, you will get stuck. So when you add it, this momentum and the final momentum, that's after collision, are equal. So this is conservation law of momentum. This is the same thing I have showed you in the slide. Yeah. So in the same slide I am showing once again, there is a cart is moving after, and this brick has been fallen down on the cart. So before falling down, what is the momentum of the cart? And after falling the brick, what is the momentum of the cart? Both are same. Even mass may be different. Look at here. Here the loaded cart may mass have 2200 kg. Dropped brick has 50 kg. But when they come together, the total mass will be 200 plus 50. 200 plus 50, 250 kg. Okay. So even if we add the both masses, but according to that, velocity can change. Heavy, more the mass, less is the speed. Less the mass, more is the speed. So here it must have got more velocity, but after they come together, mass has been changed. Mass has been changed, and what happened? Mass has been changed, and then also velocity become less. Then also, if you find out the momentum, it will be same. So that is conservation law of momentum. Children, any doubt regarding this? So when you talk about the collision, before collision, what was the total momentum? Will be equal to the after collision, the moment. Okay, so that is conservation law of momentum. In simple way, we can just say that total momentum in an isolated system. Isolated system means what? There is no other forces acting on it. When I talk about car and bike collision, when this happens, there should not be any other forces, not any other forces trying to pull the bike or car. So in that only we can have this conservation law of momentum. So isolated system means there is no external forces acting on it. Clear? Okay. Now we are going to derive it. Now this is now how to derive. So next we are going to prove what is this conservation of momentum. How can you prove it with those examples? Someone is chat box. Okay, ma'am, can you explain once again? Okay. And going back to the slide again. Melita, can you hear me? Melita? Melita? Melita wants to be explained again. Melita, can you hear me? Hello, unmute and tell me yes or no. Where is she? Anyone has those are present, because I think she is going and coming. So that's why she is not getting the real concept. What about others? Those are present in the class. Srihari, are you clear about this?
Yes, ma'am.
Anyone wanted me to explain again that, children? The statement? Say yes. Otherwise, we go to the proof. So once we learn the proof, we will come to know again. Okay. So this is also 5-mark question. So here you have two derivation. One we have already learned, a physical domain. All of you on the video, some have sent the message when the on the video network is low. That people I understood. Others on. Okay. Okay, children. We are going to learn. Okay. So children, here instead of a car and bike, we are having two balls. We are having two balls. Two balls are moving with M1 and M2. I just go to the easy board. That will be more clear. This picture is not clear. I'll go to the easy board. Okay, children. We are having two balls. One ball has a mass M1, another ball has a mass M2. Okay. Mass M2. Yeah.
We can't see.
You can see.
Didn't.
Okay. I think I did not share it. 1 minute. Sir. Okay. So children, here two, now you can see, I hope so.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So here we are having two balls. The first ball is having mass M1 and velocity is U1. It is moving with the velocity U1. Second mass, it has M2 and moving with the initial velocity U2. They are on the same path. So M2 was in front and M1 was at the back. After some time, M1 and M2 collide each other. M1 and M2 collide each other. That means M1 is exerting force on M2 and M2 is exerting force on M1. Okay. So from this you can say that this is on the basis of Newton's third law. Everyone knows now. What is Newton's third law, children? What is Newton's third law, anyone? I think you must have seen it, Newton's third law. You must have heard about it, all that. No idea?
Ma'am.
You must have heard about it.
Opposite.
To?
Every reaction has an opposite.
Every action has an opposite reaction. Yes, that is the one. So I did not mention it, but conservation of momentum, we need to know what is Newton's third law. So let me go to the third law motion. I just say, then detail we will study later. Okay. So this is Newton's third law. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. So this is what that means. When you act a force on any object, the same object will be acting a equal and opposite force. When I talk about balanced, unbalanced force, already it is there. Okay. So that is why. So just learn that statement. Later we study detail. Okay. So actually, the second one, after collision, what will happen? The force, the first ball acting a force on the second ball, and second ball is acting an equal force on the first ball. Therefore, we can write it F1 is equal to minus F2. F1 is the force acting by the first ball. F2 is the force acting by the second ball. Why it is minus sign? Because minus sign indicates that the second ball is acting in opposite direction. So first ball this way and second ball this way. Okay. Then after colliding, what will happen? Both the balls will separate. Both the balls will separate now. So this is a different case. They are not moving together. After colliding, they are moving separate. Just like a car and bike, they collide. Bike moved one side and car moved another side. So that is the condition of here. So after colliding, the first ball moves one direction and the second ball moves with another direction. But here what happened? Their velocity changes. Naturally it happens. You know, during bike and car collides, will we get the same velocity? So well, when a car collides with the bike, after collision, will the car and bike move with the same velocity before
No.
collision? No. So same thing happens here. When the two balls are colliding, after collision, they both are moving separately. But now what happened? Their initial velocity changed into some other value. So we call it as first ball mass is V1, second ball velocity. The second ball velocity is V2. Okay? Yeah, so this is a condition we discuss. So same thing, and we are considering a equation. Don't write now. Next class I will continue here because we won't get much time. So here now we are going to find out what is the initial momentum of the ball 1. Initial momentum of the ball, it is moving with the velocity u1. Therefore m1 u1. Then after collision, what is the momentum? m1 v1. Similarly, change in momentum of the first ball is now final momentum minus initial momentum. m1 v1 minus m1 u1, because we are talking about only one ball. m1 is constant, so take out the m1 separately, then you will get v1 minus u1. Now rate of change in momentum, apply Newton's second law. The force acting by the ball force acting by the first ball m1 into v1 minus u1 divided by time t. That already we have learned it. Okay. Yeah. Now we are moving on to similarly. Now understood what is the condition for? What's the condition for first ball? Similarly, we can write rate of change in momentum of ball 2. Again, you don't have to go for m1, m2, u2, m2, v2. We don't want. We can directly write. Similarly, the change in momentum of ball 2 is equal to m2 into v2 minus u2 by t. By third law of motion, f12 is equal to minus f21. That is f1 is equal to minus f2. Previously, I already told you what is f1 and what is f2. Same way you can write it, f12 is equal to minus f21. Now we substitute those two values here. TT get cancelled. TT get cancelled because same time. Now we are going to expand the numerator. When you expand, you will get m1 v1 minus m1 u1, which is equal to minus m2 v2. Minus and minus become plus. Then you will get m2 u2. Don't copy now. It is in your textbook. Just understand. Don't copy anyone now. First understand what is this derivation. Okay. We just expanded m1 v1 minus m1 u1, which is equal to minus m2 v2. Minus become plus m2 u2. Now we rearrange. Rearrange means, how do we rearrange? Same terms, take it to one side. So all the u terms go to one side. All the v terms go to one side. Okay. All the U terms go to one side, all the V terms go to other side. So when you change to other side, M2 U2, you are actually taking this minus M1 U1 to this side. You are taking because it's negative sign. Now it is better to remove the negative sign first. So that is why minus M1 U1, you take it to M2 U2, then it will become positive. Similarly, M1 V1, this minus M2 V2, that is taking to other side, you will get M1 V1 plus M2 V2. So from this, what we got this equation now? M1 U1 plus M2 U2 is equal to M1 V1 plus M2 V2. What is M1 U1? Initial momentum of ball 1. M2 U2 is the initial momentum of ball 2. So total momentum before collision now equal to the total momentum after collision. So this is how we prove this. Okay. Okay, children, any doubt? Any doubt?
No, ma'am.
You want me to repeat next class again? Very simple.
Yes, ma'am.
You want to repeat?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Don't worry. So next class I'll repeat again. Yeah. Just go through the textbook. The exact derivation is given in that. Okay. Now 10:30, the ma'am is waiting for the class. Otherwise, I could have taken extra time for you. What about others? Everyone wants me to repeat again?
Yes, ma'am.
If you say yes, otherwise
Yes,
no.
ma'am.
Okay. My energy simply wasted. Maybe I go a little bit fast. Is that so? Okay, thank you.